Hey, everybody. You know, it's October 4, 2024, and that's a Big 10-4, good buddy. It's the first episode of Fishtrap Fireside's 12th season of readings from local Wallowa County writers. That's pretty remarkable. My name is Mike Midlow. I'm the program director here, and we're happy to have all of you. For those of you who may not be familiar, Fireside is a monthly reading series for local and regional voices to share their work. Each month kind of offers a look at what people living here in Wallowa County are thinking about and writing down. I would really want to especially welcome all of you who maybe have never been to Fishtrap Fireside before, or maybe never been in this building before. Welcome. I hope it's not the last time. And I also want to welcome all of you folks out there in internet land who are watching Fishtrap Fireside at fishtrap.org or on Fishtrap's YouTube channel. Happy to have you. Also tonight is the launch of Fishtrap's 38th season of programming. Yeah, thanks, Rich. I know. These are hot off the press. It's the 2024-2025 Fishtrap brochure of events coming up this year. They're at the corner at the carved Arment Fish. Pick one up on your way out. They're really pretty. Janice did a nice job doing this. So take a look. What else? Okay, here's how Fireside works. Each month we feature 3 readers. Tonight's lineup is pretty interesting. We have 2 folks who have deep roots in Wallowa County, and we also have 1 fresh sprout. So it should be a nice variety pack of stories and experiences and what they're going to share. So give them a big hand. Our first reader tonight will be Kelsey Juve. Benjamin Curry. Yep. And Terri Hall. So we've got a great group here. And then after the 3 readings, we'll take a little intermission where you can fill your cup, where you can get a little snack, where you can chat with some people. And then we come back for the open mic section of Fishtrap Fireside. And it's 5 readers doing up to 5-minute readings. It's usually pretty fun. Some people are inspired by something that they heard and wrote during this. Sometimes people share something that they found someplace else. It's always a blast. Okay. A couple more things and we'll get the show going. Before we get started, it's important to acknowledge that October's Fishtrap Fireside is sponsored by the Book Loft. Thanks, Book Loft. They want us to know that longtime Fishtrap friend Kathy Hunter is doing a reading on Saturday morning. That is tomorrow. Tomorrow, October 5th at 10 a.m., Kathy will read from her newest children's book, the first annual go-kart race for dogs, and she'll be there to sign copies, etc. I hope you're able to go down there and do it. Okay, let's get to our first reader. Janice, would you hand me the lamp thing? Pardon me. Better. Raised among the quail and wildflowers of Alderslope, Kelsey Juve embodies place and community. She has been witness and recorder of the many joys and struggles that bloom in life. After moving back to Wallowa County, she was quick to discover this is where she wants her roots to grow. What makes this valley so special in her heart is the community. Love, support, kindness, generosity. These are the principles she was raised on, and those she wishes to instill in all the lives that cross her path. Through written word, Kelsey portrays her sense of wonderment of this magical place she is blessed to call home. For the first time as a featured reader, please welcome Kelsey Juve.
wrote everything down. As the first reader of the 2024 Fishtrap Fireside season, my nerves are high. Let me be honest, I would be nervous no matter when I read. My deep gratitude for Fishtrap for holding this place in which to share my words, my thoughts. My gratitude to all those in the audience and online for holding me as I embrace the uncomfortability of sharing my writing. For as nervous and uncomfortable as I am, this is a dream for me. As my mind went blank when trying to write on a theme, I chose to read from my journal. These entries come from the opportunity to have been a part of Fishtrap Outpost, both on the river and on the prairie. I finished this reading with a few pieces deeply rooted in my heart. Thank you, Fishtrap. Thank you, my community. As radiant as the white clouds in the sky, my skin in brilliance with the sun's kiss. As roots sprawling under the soil, my feet hold strength supporting this body. The fortitude of trees' trunk, my legs bear the weight and effortlessly carry me forward. My torso ripples like the still waters in a gust of wind. As the mounds of hills, my chest protects my heart. My neck reaches out as an apple tree shoot reaches for the sun. My face sun-touched freckles like stars in the sky. Eyes green like spring fields and echo blue like a deep glacier lake. Wheat fields rustling, reflecting golden hues of my hair. The intuition of the land is that of my mind. Beating and breaths constant, the land pulses with life. My soul connected to the lands intertwined. As I praise the landscape for its beauty and bounty, might I praise my body and soul, learning to love like the love I hold for the land. Zumwalt Prairie. I sit in the prairie and listen to the grasses rustle in the breeze. Pen to paper, I try to capture this moment. The feel of the wind delicate against my skin, songbirds enticing my ears, clouds dancing against the blue sky. Looking out, I see the rolling hills and the flat expanse in between, for in this wild place there is a calm, a quiet, a peace that can only be felt in the wilderness of non-tamed land. Captured but in memory, may forever I know this peace, find myself in the wild places, seek the calm my soul so desires. Might my sense of wonder never wave, my adoration never dissipate, for this land calls to my soul, howls in my heart, echoes through my breaths, cleanses my mind. These wild lands are known to me like the backs of my hand. They are new like a stranger's face, for in the intimacy of our vastness we are both ever-changing. The green grasses glow gold with the waning sun, the breeze soft as a whisper of the wind. Dark clouds to the east, tips of the snow-kissed mountains to the south. To the west is a setting sun, yearning to touch the horizon. Sitting, listening, arms open, breaths light. The sun will nestle in the horizon's embrace and light the clouds with a fleeting brilliance. The light of the day blinds in glory for one last moment, soon to rest. For as the light fades, the moon will rise, the stars will shine in the darkening sky, and light is not lost but found anew. I sit with breath lost. When my mind said no more, my body carried me, its strength carrying our weight. I breathed through my mouth, my heart beating. One footfall to one footfall. I inhaled, I exhaled, my feet guiding my way, each step a familiar friend. For as I walked, my heart called to the place my soul sought yesterday. Eyes down to rock and lichen and soil and plant, my legs knew the way. Yesterday glowed as a beacon guiding my way. Their winds drew me into their embrace. Today the light is subtle, golden grasses no longer rustling. There is the soft hand of a gentle light, grasses dusky rose amongst golden brethren. The rocks steel gray with their rust and mint adornment. The fading flowers in their fleeted petaled beauty, only one season do you see them, yet they're always on the mind. This vantage laying out atop the green tops of rolling hills, the gradual darkening of the deepening canyon, glimpsing the peaks of mountains familiar, the stillness with the song of the birds lullabying you to rest. Sit and be, the fading sun lighting the page, its brightness outshining the clouds. One last moment in this place, for now. For now, this land is but a bit of me, calls to me as the footfall of my soul leads me back. But for now, it will be the coyotes, the cows, the nighthawks, the sparrows, the deer. For now, it is left to the true holders of this place. Barnard Snake River. In my dreams, I went to the river and asked, "How is your might so strong? How instead of being worn down by time, you have built strength, built enough strength to wear down stone, a constant steady flow to have made space for your vastness, to declare, I am here and here I shall remain. O river, how are you so wise to know so inherently the depth you seek, the width you claim, the rate you wish to flow? I sit along your shore humbled, of your grace, your peace. Might I find your characteristics in my lifetime? For as I sit along your shore, I sing to your attributes and sing for myself. For through my lifetime I have learned to hold space as you hold space. I will tell my children to sit by the river in gratitude of the power of knowledge it shares. In its constant steadiness, there are many lessons to learn. O river, today I sing to thee in humble gratitude, to allow me this brief glimpse of your beauty, of your wisdom, of your might. I was barefoot, popping tar bubbles down the middle of the road, a week's worth of dirt layered on my skin, collecting four-leaf clovers, never needing the luck they ensured. For I was as wild as I wanted to be, blonde hair braided in a tangle and all my clothes stitched along the way, a rabbit made of cotton in one hand and field flowers in the other, green eyes bright and sun-kissed freckled adorned. There were no worries, and the only company I needed was my own. As my dad tucked me into bed with stories he wove, the flies settled into the studs and insulation of my non-sheetrocked bedroom walls. We erased marbles on the slanted farmhouse floors, and the porch was a place we dare not go. How simple those times of innocence were, days stretching as far as the light shone. How to step back into those times I might never know, but once I held them in my grasp, not knowing they wouldn't last. And now, as an aging woman with many steps to still take, I can feel that worry-free spirit in fleeting instances, in conversations held by deep kinship, in being swept away during music of my soul. She still lingers, waiting to be called upon, to reassure my spirit that the weight of growth can never bury the core established in the tall fields of grass. In the moonlight, whispers of wonderment. Deep inside, the innocent lies, waiting to be called upon, when burdens want to envelop. With green eyes bright, there are flowers reflecting sun. There are clovers waiting to be discovered. There is grass underfoot and soil caked between toes. That bare, naked, freckled child still resides, keeping my soul on the path that delights in the wind's words and the butterfly's dances, that yearns for snow crystals on eyelashes and a cold winter's embrace, that dances in a summer's rain and cherishes the garden carrot straight from the ground. All of those days spent wandering amongst toads and tree canopy and quiet roads have been the foundation of this girl wandering towards womanhood. The whiteness of bone, the heat of cracked earth, the intimacy of my sweat, your son. The drying flowers, tall on stalks, rooted deep yet. The time ticks slowly, beating fast, awaiting a cooling breeze. The first smell of rain, you embrace us in a fire. Our souls dance to the sunrise, sway to the sunset, howling at the moon. The lullaby of stars, you embrace us, remind us of your power. This piece is very special to me. I carry you with me everywhere I go. You are deep in my heart. Your picture is in my wallet in the visor of my car. The embrace of the mountain shadow envelops me as your arms once did. The whiteness of snow as bright as your smile. The wind still carries your laughter. Laughter through the trees as the sun crests into dawn and the moon rests. There are so many experiences and moments never shared, so I carry you with me. When the wheat is glistening or the snow drifts from the mountaintops, I stop. I breathe and I think of you, your light, the warmth you so easily carried. I know your soul rests in the place we both love, and your heart remains in all our beating hearts. The ones who loved you, who met you, who were touched by your innocent kindness, we will carry you, be the light for you can rest on the winds, the falling snow, on shafts of sunlight, reminding us all of our better selves. And that's my time. Thank y'all so very much. Thank you.
Kelsey, I loved how you had all the pieces of paper folded and unfolded. Yeah, that was pretty. You honor us with your preparation. Thank you. I just noticed we were talking about the open mic sign-up sheet. There we go. Thank you, Vanna. There's still 3 spots available, so at the break, you're welcome to sign your name up. It's up to 5 minutes. If you don't know how that feels, what 5 minutes feels like, just come up to Shannon or me, and we can help you out. There's so many programs coming up. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I want you to pick up a brochure and go to fishtrap.org and take a look. But we do have the big read coming up this January and February. The book is The Cold Millions by Jess Walter. It's a story that takes place in Spokane. It's a novel about in the 1920s, and it has to do with like labor unions and vaudeville, and it's a really cool book. And so we're pulling together a list of events going on this January and February. And then Winter Fishtrap is in February, and the theme this year is, what is the West? Oh my. That should spark some conversations, because everybody has a different answer. So we should have a great time with that. I do want to talk about a couple upcoming workshops. We try to provide an in-person and online workshop per month or throughout the year. Because for a long time, someone would introduce themselves to me, and they say, "Well, my name's this. I'm a poet," and I would think, "God, how do you get to be one of those?" It's such a big word. It can be such an intimidating thing. Well, it turns out all you have to do is just say you are, right? I'm a poet. I am not a doctor. I am a poet. And you can be one too. On Saturday, October 19, in a couple weeks, our very own Kirsten Rolla, who's sitting right back here, is leading a workshop right here from 10 a.m. to noon called Poetry for Non-Poets. You don't have to consider yourself a poet to write poetry. The group will... Kirsten said that she's building this thing to be really fun, that the group will play with words, write some poems, talk about what they've written, and maybe even share some poems with each other. All ages and experiences are welcome, so you can go to the Fishtrap website and sign up. You can see me afterwards. You can scan one of our QR codes on the wall and save your spot in the workshop, and also you can talk to Rolla at the break, and she'll tell you more about what you're going to do. I hope somebody signs up and becomes a poet like me, too. Oh, why not? The other thing we were doing this week, this season, is we're expanding one of our online workshop offerings. One of our great friends, Perrin Kearns, I hope you're out there, Perrin, has been around Fishtrap for decades, and she's leading a 10-week online workshop called The Playful Essay. It starts beginning October 28th, and it just sounds like a blast. So you can check out The Playful Essay at fishtrap.org and save your spot, along with all the other workshops coming up. Okay, let's get to our second reader. Benjamin Curry leads a quadruple life as a husband, parent, poet, memoirist, and technical writer. When he isn't doing one of those things, he sits on his front porch with Joseph and listens to the chickadees, juncos, and robins twitter in the morning. Maybe you've seen him out there. The chair of Wallowa Land Trust Board of Directors, he has recent work published in Clockhouse Literary Journal. Benjamin was one of the first readers at Fishtrap Fireside back in the fall of 2013, and it's great to have him back again. So welcome, Benjamin Curry.
So I'm trying something new, but first, before I say anything else, just how about another hand for Kelsey? That was great. I have to thank Fishtrap for bringing Ross Gay last winter, reading Ross's book. I've read several of his books, but reading I'm blanking on the name of it, but reading it kind of freed up the poetry flow for me again after a very long time. This first poem I'm going to read is kind of an older poem. The rest of them I've written since I met Ross. Living by Whiskey. 6:30 a.m. in the open meadow, and it's me and Gypsy horseback to check the cows and calves where they sidle. What was that? Where they sidle ghostly in the ground fog. Frost on their fur, rime coats their nostrils. I can start again, thank you. Because I'm kind of like, whoa. All right.
That, by the way, was a fire call.
Yeah, got it. Okay, Living by Whiskey. 6:30 a.m. in the open meadow, and it's me and Gypsy horseback to check the cows and calves where they sidle ghostly in the ground fog. Frost on their fur, rime coats their nostrils. Gypsy, he's worked pairs since before I was born and drank at least that long. Jaw slack, he hunches his shoulders as if he just got punched, his jeans smeared with blood and snot. Old man, looks like a grain truck run you down. I oughta, he says, veins dark blue in his face, eyes bloodshot. Whiskey ran dry last night. He squints again at the herd while I look at him, and what I took for shivers, I think now are shakes. These damn cows, Jim, I can't stand 'em, he croaks. Look, that one there is kicking its calf off its tit. I got it, I say, but Gypsy's already slid off his horse and trudges toward them before I'm done talking. A white-faced mother shoves a frost-coated calf from her udders with a hind leg, and the little bastard is too cold to bawl. Gypsy turns up his collar as he walks and tugs his gloves gauntlets before he punches the cow in its muzzle. Then he lifts the calf to his chest and lugs it to me where I still sit in my saddle. Here, he says, and presses our new ward into my leg. I can't stand the smell of him so close this morning. Privilege. I woke with no war at my door, no burning cars in my street, no bombs raining onto the building where I sleep. I do not think myself exceptional, only a farm kid from America made good, not up at dawn in the fields harvesting lettuce for a stranger's salad, just up early on an overcast day in Oregon where robins still sing in the morning and I can walk out my door without fear of a violent death. The dying jade. Overwatered or underwatered? Sad branches sag with their own weight. What did I do wrong? Everything. My mother would have said if she were not dead, 30 years buried in our rocky earth. Never able to celebrate the small joys of her wildly overgrown jade in that sunny corner of our living room, grown so big that she propped its limbs with dowels, grown so big that it transported me to its native desert and night skies, stars trapped between its thumb-like leaves, galaxies caught in its limbs. I would call it back from that dusty plot of linoleum, witness to our Christmas thrift, to games of checkers on the floor, to the moon landings on our 24-inch Zenith black and white console, to the model train that Dad let me bring downstairs from the attic exactly once. Witness to my brother's seizures when he disappeared beyond our universe and came back mumbling, who found the lightning of his mind excruciating, the tingle in every nerve, who once, in his ecstatic convulsions, kicked the jade's elaborate planter so that one of its limbs broke, and my mother yelled at him to stop, and he couldn't. The wound on the plant's trunk never healed, and borne by the rest of us to our graves. One other thing I wanted to mention, we were talking about being a poet and doing exercises. Kristen Roll is going to do. One of the things I like to do is I see something and it triggers a memory, and that memory, that's where a lot of these come from. This one, I was driving to the Grand and saw a dust devil, hence the title, Dust Devil. The world is full of wind. Dust funnels that as a boy I chased in the hope they would fling me into the mountains. Hate rots your heart, a hard lesson I learned the hard way, but I hated the days when a sidetracked wind chased my brother and me as we gathered rocks, not stones, that too soft a word, so they wouldn't break the chisel plow. They did anyway. Those devils gritted dirt into our hair, our lips, our teeth, as we sweat beneath a sky unrelentingly blue until we walked home coated brown. God damn it, I can still feel the iron on my tongue. I hated that swirled devil wind and the stench of dust. I don't repent. Now that I've said it, I'm free. Child of a dying town. I am a child of silence, of wind and thunderstorm, of stars' bright pinpricks in night's fabric, a child of wheat stalks and barley beards, of tamarack rounds set on the frozen ground for my father to split with his maul. A child of loss, the last kid in my 7th grade classroom running the projector, lost documentaries of lost people from a time forgotten, alone except for a cascade of books from the shallow shelves, for the American flag, for the portraits of Washington and Lincoln on the wall, and my teacher who retired to a cabin on the river where ice flows flood the flats before spring's thaw. A child of ghosts, perhaps yours too hover at your shoulders just like mine. Grandpa, Aunt Wilda, Grandma, Mom, Dad, and the wide-eyed great-grandpa Benjamin, from whom I received my name, standing vacant in the state asylum, mouthing words to an old song from the 1880s. But also a child of mountain bluebirds, Oregon juncos, and black-capped chickadees, a child of huckleberry bushes on shaded canyon slopes, a child of the river whose voice over free stones sings sweet at my feet. The next poem is called Fire Season, and it's in several sections, and not all the sections are done yet. So I'm they're in section order, but they're jumping from, 1, 3, 5, and 7. All of them odd numbers, I don't know why. Fire Season 1. Only the end of June, and it begins earlier every year. Grass slopes cure to gold. Smoke filters the midday amber. 3. August 1977. Dad sat the tractor to till the field just inside our fence lines, turning under the ripening wheat so cigarette sparks from passing smokers couldn't burn our crop to ash. 5. Did it even snow last winter? 7. All our neighbors out of their fields to work the ditches on Sunny Glade Road, in their overalls bent with their shovels and picks, turning up the tall grass on either side of the gravel, impromptu firebreak against the flames licking the feet of the pine trees. And not one of them brought their dog. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was really nice of Benjamin to mention last year's guest author, Ross Gay. It's really rewarding when those things spark something in you, you know, and some people, and to see you at Summer Fishtrap a few months ago, you really made the week better for being there. Thanks. A couple other events that are coming up that Fishtrap is partnering with other organizations on. This Halloween, Fishtrap is again partnering with Haunt Camp to celebrate, and we're excited to announce the addition of something that they're calling, I don't know much about this, Jennifer, but it's called the Spooky Story Slam. It's a night of spine-tingling storytelling on Friday, October 25th from 7 to 9 at the Cloverleaf Hall. It's free, it's family-friendly, and I think they're like inviting young people, students, adults too maybe, but if they have a scary story that they want to tell at the Spooky Story Slam, to contact Jennifer Hobbs here. Where is Jennifer? There's Jennifer, yellow sweater. Say, tell me more about this thing. And also, on Saturday, November 16, Missoula Children's Theater presents Sleeping Beauty here. Wallowa County students are encouraged to try out and perform in the play. Auditions and rehearsals are November 11 at 4 at Enterprise School Cafeteria, and tickets will be available for the performance on November 16th at fishtrap.org, or you can buy them at the door. So that's a couple cool things that are coming up this fall. All right, let's get to our third reader. And then there's some surprises afterwards. Terri Hall is in her sophomore year as a resident of Wallowa Valley. A singer, songwriter, musician, public speaker, writer, storyteller, defender of the developmentally challenged, a cheerleader for the underdog, community organizer, and mother, Terri is a woman of a certain age. A descendant of those who sailed the Mayflower and also those who walked the Trail of Tears. Her DNA and her heart led her to venture into the middle of nowhere and to find her center of the universe. Terri has begun writing a new chapter here in Wallowa County with the hope that someday, somewhere, someone will say, "Your words spoke to me," and offer a little cash to help finance her Medicare romance adventures. Please welcome Terri Hall.
You know, they say the second year is the hardest. For the widowed, it's the realization that they're still gone. For the wedded, it's the realization that they're still here. And for the relocated, it's the realization that it's been a year and damn it, why can't I remember your name? I've been on a year-long crash course to become more Wallowian. Wallowian. See, I have work to do. Though I've had an expert instructor, as my sophomore year begins, I realized I didn't learn as much as I had hoped. I speak the language, but I still do not know all the words. Freshman year was quite enlightening. It was a year of questionable attempts at Dutch oven cooking, publicizing my Medicare romance in prose and poems, and a front page article in the local paper that shortly after crossed over to the cyber world. I've flubbed lyrics and chords while performing. I've written songs about a tidy little town and Mama Buffalo and jingles. Oh yeah, I wrote jingles. 1, 2, 3, soft and fresh.
Yum, yum.
Above the rest.
Yes, ma'am.
Our donuts are the best in all the West.
That's right.
Blue Mountain Donut Store, we're headed for your door. Just gotta have some more, and we can take and bake a pizza too. If you'd been to the Hootenanny, you'd know that. So I've embraced Wallawology in my own Terri-hology perspective. And I've branched into a kind of a Grandma Moses wannabe, sort of Medicare art exploration, ceramics with Ariana, painting with Cheryl, but I'm more likely to pose for Rod's drawing class and try my hand at learning to draw, but that will never happen. So there are things I do not know. Huckleberry patches. Come on, folks. Where are those huckleberry patches? I don't know bloodlines, family trees, romantic connections. I need a chart. I know that the mountains are south, but once I leave Grace Prairie, I have no idea which direction I'm traveling. South, south. 92% of my life has been spent at sea level, in proximity to sand, salt water, and a large metropolis. I've known zero lot lines, the marine layer, May, gray, June, gloom, if you've been to the beach, neighborhood watch and rush hour traffic. And while I delight in this frontier life, it's going to take some time to get into the swing of this high altitude lifestyle of wide open spaces with howling and hooting and, what was that sound? Wacko weather patterns and our own brand of traffic. I mean, please tell me, what is the best way to get a cow out from the middle of the road? And weeds. There's a sign on the North Highway, and it says, "Help Wallowa County control noxious weeds." Noxious weeds. Those invasive species that are usually unknowingly brought into Wallowa County. Well, coming here from the land of consumed by invasive species from all over the country, I was in California, this sign makes me a little nervous. But just so you know, Paul was on the weed board for a number of years, and he is qualified to determine a noxious weed. So, Paul, any chance you would reassure me and these folks?
My dear,
Paul, is there, yeah.
my dear, you are a beautiful transplanted baby.
He's a smart man. There are some things that I do know. First of all, I do know that I do not want to be a resident of Idaho. Just had to say that. I moved to Oregon. I know that there's this Wallowian wisdom. It's something that I really admire, and you all know stuff. I mean, really important stuff. Stuff that I think could change the world. And it's authentic and free of pretense. Wallowians know how to work, how to share, how to love, how to maximize their resources for the greater good, how to thrive with little and create abundance, to embrace adversity and grow strong. The fires that you start are big and purposeful, and the ones that you don't are fiercely fought. You teach your children to be extraordinary. I mean, is there nothing they cannot do? It's a wisdom that could change the world if we can only get that out there. And then there's this county kindness. It's shown with respect, appreciation, and heartfelt encouragement. Controversy exists, I know. I've seen the signs. Some of those signs that I hope our children do not read. There are things Wallowians are not, some things thankfully, and others, well, there's always room for improvement, right? Folks, Wallowan County kindness is in action somewhere all of the time. And a genuine generosity, it seems that it's in the air we breathe. Wallowians give whatever's needed to whomever is in need. Like a rising tide lifts all boats, genuine generosity elevates everyone. Well, Wallowians not only give to one another, but also the descendants of the displaced original inhabitants of this area. Communally, there's a clear understanding of how the land came to be occupied by us, the non-Indigenous. And it's with pride and a little bit of intergenerational envy that I watch as land is returned to the descendants of the ancient ones. Envy because, unlike the Nez Perce, my Yuchi family has no idea where my third great-grandmother began her walk of tears to the Oklahoma Territory. And then there's the creative. What significant statues, written words, signature ceramics, painted pictures, sung songs. This is an exceptionally creative community. Robust creativity springs from all 3,152 square miles, I did my research, of this county. It inspired this woman to create her first painting to hang on a grain bin wall and to create ceramic gifts for my children with my name, date, and age on the back of it. Its payback is great. I love it. It dares this woman to share the words never intended for public review. Its musical magic will not allow this woman to rest on her laurels. I'm inspired by the performers, the buskers, the jammers, the yokels, the songwriters. Oh my, the songwriters that speak to me with brilliantly crafted tunes. I want to pour your coffee in the morning. Song lyrics I choose not to remember fully, so that each time I hear them, it's like listening to an old friend filling in the details of a shared memory. We're human, though not a very diverse melting pot. We're more like a beige poem in a pot, full of dissonant perspectives, non-rhyming lines, controversial words, but all working, if not together, at least in the same direction, toward that which we each believe is best. You know, I'll never live long enough to be a local. Truth is, I've never lived anywhere long enough to be considered a local, but I've experienced a local lifestyle of several communities. I've developed a strong backbone that many have tried to break. Thick skin from scars, and with many scars from forces trying to get under it. But my heart is big, and it remains soft and open, ready to be filled with all it means to be Willawian. My band in New York was He Bird, She Bird, and we used the motto, go big or go home. Folks, I'm going big, and I do believe I'm home.
Turned it on. Is it on? You all can hear me? Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm hobbling. So if you haven't gotten a phone call or an email, a check, promised lunch date, it's because Janice got really mad at me and pushed me off the curb and I broke my foot. That's not true. It's not true. The city of Joseph tried to kill me. No, that's not true. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I had a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. First off, as Mike mentioned, the open mics are starting tonight. How many of you, by the way, can I just do a quick check, have never been in this building before tonight? Can you raise your hand? Welcome. I hope you come back. It's nice to see you. So this is, we're going to take a break in a minute, and I want to tell you what's going to happen next. As Mike mentioned, we have an open mic section. Everybody gets up to 5 minutes. And the reason I started out with my broken foot is I'm not kidding around tonight. So as my mom can attest, when I'm in pain, I'm mean. So what? Battery just died, I think. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. If you have up to 5 minutes to read, that includes your introduction. Anything you want to say about your reading, you have 5 minutes. At 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I stand up. Sort of. As they will say, don't make me come up here. And the reason we do this is for fun. It really is for fun. It's so that you get a chance to practice your reading. I think at least 2 of the readers tonight came from open mic readings. It's a good chance for you to practice that. By the way, thank these folks again before we leave, not by yet. So that's something that we really want to take seriously. If you are ever considering doing an open mic reading, there's a little sheet back there that has kind of tips and tricks, things to do, including practice and timing. You will be grateful, and so are those in this room who love you dearly. So that is something I wanted to let you know tonight. The other thing I wanted to do was read you a little something, because we're about to do something a little different. I want to say about 3 weeks ago maybe, we got a little email from our friend Craig, who sent an email out to some friends of his that said, dear friends, this year marks an important milestone in the life of my talented and brilliant wife, Susan. She turns 70 on October 4th. Geez, thanks. It just so happens that October 4th is the first Fishtrap Fireside of the season, an event that is near and dear to Susan's heart. She has worked as a lecturer at Utah State University as well as an adjunct at Lynn Benton Community College classes teaching writing and various literature classes. She has regularly contributed to various poetry journals and read at poetry readings. Since moving to Joseph, she's been active with Fishtrap, and boy, are we glad for that, and is hoping to teach some classes this year. All of this to say that I would like to celebrate her 70 years through a fundraiser for Fishtrap in honor of her that would culminate on Friday, October 2024.
Okay, you're forgiven.
We're going to take a little break. In addition to Book Loft, who's been sponsoring this event, I want to let everyone know that Craig brought much of the food you see in that room tonight. He also has a birthday cake for his lovely wife. There is a fundraiser that he has set up in her name. We've already received about $300. That link to that fundraiser is on the YouTube channel for tonight, and I'm sure our friend Craig will be happy to pass that along. Happy birthday, Suze. Sign up for open mic. We'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Thank you.